Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for attending this presentation of the IEEE ICASSP-2020. My name is Waldo Nogueira, and I'm with the Auditory Prosthetic Group of the Department of Otolaryngology at the Hanover Medical School and the Cluster of Excellence Hearing for All. This presentation is about decoding selective attention from single-trial EEG data in cochlear implant users based on deep neural networks. It's my pleasure to introduce you Hanna Dolhopiatenko, who will present this work.
Hello, I'm Hanna and I will start the presentation. So what is cochlear implant? Cochlear implant is an implantable medical device which restores hearing, bypassing damaged structure of inner ear and directly stimulating hearing nerve. The implant consists of two parts, external part and internal part. External part includes sound processor, microphone, and external coil. An internal part consists of internal coil, implanted electronics, and electrode array. Nowadays, the eye users face a problem of understanding speech in multi-speaker scenarios such as cocktail party effect. At the same time, normal hearing people can easily concentrate on desired speaker and to suppress all another speakers. Electroencephalogram, it's shortly EEG, demonstrates a brain neural signals, and it has been shown that EEG recordings can be used to identify the attended speech stream in a multi-speaker scenario in normal hearing listeners. Cochlear implant is stimulated by electrical impulses, and this causes an electrical artifact which leaks to EEG recordings. But it also has been shown that it is still possible to identify the attended speech stream in cochlear implant users, even if large artifact is presented. However, artifact is non-linearly related to the envelope of the audio signal. Moreover, some previous works shown that nonlinear deep neural networks can decode selective attention in normal hearing listeners. And our goal is to investigate whether it is possible to use nonlinear models to decode selective attention in cochlear implant users. So here is a main paradigm of decoding selective attention. There are two audio streams are presented. One is narrated by male speaker and another one by female speaker, one to each ear. The person is asked to attend one of the both streams, and at the same time continuous EEG is recorded. After this, EEG recordings and original attended and unattended signals are processed, and envelopes of audio signals are extracted. Then EEG recording is logged and used to design an attended decoder which serves to reconstruct attended speech. At the end, we run correlation coefficient between attended, original, unattended, original, and reconstructed signals, and then compare it. So to reconstruct an audio, we use least square estimation method. As an input, we use EEG recordings with delay versions, denoted as Y sub n of k plus delta. K is a time sample, and n is an electrode number, and delta defines a lag. Speech reconstruction can be obtained by applying to EEG signal decoder weights. These decoder weights can be estimated by least square method, which minimize the square of difference between original signal and reconstructed signal. We also apply a regularizer to avoid overfitting. At the end, we run correlation coefficient between original attended signal and reconstructed signal, and also correlation coefficient between original unattended signal and reconstructed signal. And if correlation coefficient of attended signal is higher than correlation coefficient of unattended signal, then it classified as right decoded attended signal. We also use a different modes of presentation of data. We recorded 48 minutes of EEG, and every 2 minutes, attended site was changed. So first mode is slow decision mode, which means that we divided data in 48 blocks, 60 seconds each. 46 blocks were used for training, 1 for validation, and 1 for test. We also implemented leave one out cross-validation with 48 folds. The second type of presentation of data is fast decision mode, where we divided blocks in 10 seconds each, and this results in 288 trials. 286 trials were used for training, 1 for validation, and 1 for testing. Here we also implemented leave one out cross-validation with 72 folds. So here you can see the result of linear model for 10 normal hearing people and 10 CI users. And on the x-axis, you can see different logs, and on y-axis accuracy, which means percentage of right decoded trials. We use this data to estimate an optimal log window, which gave us a window between 220 and 236 milliseconds. So here we came to our goal, the goal of our paper, and this was to implement different architecture of neural networks. One of them was fully connected neural network. FC10 means that we use 10 seconds decision window to predict, and 60 means that we use 60 seconds to predict. As an input, we use logged EEG. Then we applied Bayes normalization between first input layer. First input layer is a dense layer with 32 units and ReLU function. After that, dropout was implemented with 25%. After this Bayes normalization again, which goes to first and only one hidden layer with 16 units and also with ReLU function. Then drop out with 25% to avoid overfitting. And at the end, we have output layer with single unit and sigmoidal activation function. The second type of architecture which we implemented was convolutional neural network. As an input, we also used a logged EEG and Bayes normalization before first input layer. First input layer is a convolutional layer with 5 filters, so 5 units, and with kernel size 2 by 96, which covers a log window, and by 16 samples. Stride length was settled to 1. After that, we applied average pooling and the one hidden layer, which was dense layer with 5 units and sigmoidal activation function. After this, we applied dropout with 25%, and output layer is dense layer with 1 single unit and sigmoidal activation function. On this slide, you can see results for different models. LM10 means linear model for 10 seconds, LM60 linear model for 60 seconds, FC fully connected for 10 seconds, fully connected for 60 seconds, and convolutional neural network just for 10 seconds, so for fast decision mode. We tried this code for 5 normal hearing and 5 CIs, and it showed that when we use a slow decision mode, which means we take 60 seconds for prediction, the best results showed a model LM60, both for normal hearing and CIs. But for CIs, the accuracy was lower than for normal hearing. But when we are changed to fast decision mode, which means that we take 10 seconds to predict, then fully connected was slightly better than a linear model for 10 seconds. So our next goal was also to simplify network, because results for neural networks were not really much higher than for linear model, maybe because of complexity of neural networks. So we decided to simplify network, and as I mentioned before, we were changing audio each 2 minutes, audio which we were presenting to a person. So this allowed us to implement decision architecture, which was decoding the locus of attention. We also here implemented different types of this model, and first one is taking just EEG as an input. The second one is taking EEG and plus summation of envelopes of both audios of attended and unattended. And the third and the last type of architecture, we are taking EEG as an input and plus envelopes of speech, additionally to the EEG signal. So here are results for decision architecture, and the architecture with just EEG as an input showed results below chance level. The architecture with EEG and summation of envelopes showed results higher than chance level. And the last architecture is EEG plus speeches envelopes of speech showed really high results, which means that this network learns how to the switching mechanism of the paradigm. So, and I want to summarize that we show that it is possible to decode selective attention in normal hearing listeners as well in CI users from EEG based on linear model, if we are taking slow decision mode, so 60 seconds. Selective attention decoding accuracy in CI users is lower than in normal hearing listeners. Decoding accuracy is reduced when classification decision was lowered to 10 seconds, so when we took a fast mode. We also showed that nonlinear deep neural networks can be used to decode selective attention, but only for short decision mode, but for both group, for normal hearing group and for CI group. And the convolutional neural network, or a simpler architecture, which only decodes a locus of attention, achieved similar accuracy as a fully connected reconstruction architecture. In the future, we are planning to increase amount of data, which will probably improve the performance, or also as an alternative to use global model, which take in for training data from all subjects to predict just one subject. So here we also shared a link to our files, which are available from now. And thank you very much for attention.